Hi, this week I'm going to do a really quick evening smoky eye. I'm going to do it with cream shadows because I think they're much easier to use. They look more modern. I mean, there's loads of different ways you can do smoky eyes. This is just one. But sometimes when you're using lots of different powder colours and creases and doing something quite complicated, it can look a little bit old-fashioned, I think. So it's quite nice just to do something really simple and really quick. Now I've done my foundation already because I'm using cream, so they're not going to drop down. That's the other beauty of them. So I found a really good base, a new one. It comes out in the UK on the 1st of April and it's the Clinique Anti-blemish solutions. Now this is a really good foundation. I've been using it quite a bit if you are either prone to spots or you've got spots. And it's really aimed at sort of 20s, 30s and upwards. So if you're a little bit older but you find that you get a few spots, then it's a really good thing to use. It's got a really nice coverage. It covers quite well, so if you do have a breakout, it's going to sort of get rid of them. But it also has salicylic acid in, which is the magic ingredient. It's a beta hydroxy acid that's capable of sort of clearing out your pores, so it's sort of exfoliating and cleaning them as you go. So it's a really good one to use. So I've got that all over, apart from around my eyes, and then I've got some concealer on, and I haven't needed to powder because it's got quite a velvety finish, so if you do have a slightly combination skin or oily skin, it's a really nice one to use. So I'm going to start with a pencil. I'm going to use a Jemma Kid Makeup School, and it's a Stay Put eyeliner, so it's one of the really long-lasting ones. It's black, but it has a little bit of shimmer in it, which I really like. Now to start by going right along the inner rim of your eye. Put plenty on. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then along the lash line underneath, just do a couple of dots all the way along. This is all going to be smudged in afterwards. On the top you want something similar, but make sure it's mainly in between the lashes, so you're massaging at the roots. Once you've got your eyeliner on, don't spend much time on it, spend a minute. The messier the better. Once you've got it on the inside, just make it really messy because it's then going to be easier to break up and really blend in. So for the shadow, I'm going to use a Benefit Creaseless Cream shadow, and this is Strut. So it's a nice graphite colour. I also like some of the Bobbi brown ones. This is a great navy one with some shimmer in, which is a metallic long wear cream eyeshadow. For blue eyes, I'm crazy about this one, which is the Beach Bronze, which is a Bobbi brown one. And I also love, for all different eye colours, this amazing one by MAC. So I'm going to use a MAC 217. I'm just going to swirl into the product there. MAC 217 is quite a big brush, and the bigger the brush, the better. Then I'm going to take most of it off on the back of my hand, so lots of sort of circles. And then I'm going to start just dabbing the cream. At the same time, it's blending in the pencil as well. And you want to do sort of like circles. Once you've got it dabbed on, you can start to sort of smoke it in. Then look straight ahead for your socket line. Now if you've got quite heavy eyelids, if you've got sort of hooded lids or you're a little bit older, straight ahead with the brows up and just start buffing in, and then just relax your brows, let them drop down, because then you can see exactly where your socket line is, and you want some nice shadow all along there. And by now you've got a lot less on your brush, so you're getting that really nice haze going right into the socket line. Once you've kind of got your socket line mapped out, you can just use a good old-fashioned cotton bud and just take off those edges. Now they do dry at a certain point, that's what makes them long wear, so you can't mess around for too long. So sort of get your basic shape on and do your little changes before it dries. And that way, once it's on, I find that these just don't crease, even if you've got oily eyelids. For underneath, I'm going to use a slightly smaller brush. This is a Jemma Kid brush again, with a tiny bit, so not too much of the Benefit Creaseless shadow. And then I'm just going to start smoothing along. So I'm mainly doing this to blend in that pencil that I had dotted along. And be quite generous, go down a little bit further than you think actually, because once you've got your mascara on and everything, you still want to have that nice cloud of colour coming down. And as it's drying, if you need to pat a little bit more in, do, but be aware that because of the technology, the long staying power of these creams, they do sort of, you start to feel that they're drying. So do any last minute touches before they dry. So exactly the same on the other eye. Start by breaking down the pencil, all your dots. Get good coverage on the lid. Look straight ahead. Lift up your brows, find your socket line, where you think it is anyway. And then especially if you've got hooded lids, relax your brow and then just buff small circles up so you get that lovely round haze. Now I'm going to curl my lashes and put on lots and lots of black mascara. I'm actually trying out a new mascara. It's L'Oreal Double Extension, and it has a serum inside, so it's good for your lashes. I haven't used this one before. It's got a base, which I've already started using. So that's the base coat on with the mascara. So I finished my mascara, put plenty on top and bottom. And it's a really good mascara actually because it's got lots of impact. You want something that really gives your lashes a good old bit of length and volume if you're doing a smoky eye. Okay, I'm going to do some cheeks now because you can look a little bit washed out, especially if you're pale and you've got quite a dark eye. I'm going to use Benefit Sugarbomb because it's kind of a mixture of lots of different shades. It's not too orangey, it's not too pink, it's got a bit of everything. I'm going to keep it quite quick. I'm just going to apply that sort of onto the apples of the cheeks. I don't want anything too much because the whole focus of this makeup is really about the eyes, so I don't want too much else going on in the rest of the face. So just keep it really soft. And then for the lips, I'm going to use Revlon Mauve It Over, and it's one of them sheer matte lipsticks, and I love these. And because I want it to look like a really casual lip, I'm just going to go straight ahead and sort of put it on from the bullet. And then to finish off, I'm just going to use a little bit on my finger and just pat in. I really don't want the lip to compete at all with the eye. So just keep it really modern, really soft edge. If you really need to, use a little bit of nude liner, if you can get away with it, because you're not really focusing on the lip. Just want to keep the edges really soft. Now that's more or less it. So the other thing I would say though is you can layer these once they're dry. I'm going to show you. I'm going to use the Bobbi Brown Longwear Starry Night, which is the navy one that I showed. You can just kind of pop it on over the top of your grey base, which we've got on already, especially onto the lid. You just pat that on. It's another one that dries, so once it's dry it doesn't move. And so it doesn't matter if it's a little bit kind of casual, and it just gives that little bit of intensity, and also you can see it just gives a little bit of colour, which I think looks really great. Likewise, I'm going to show you on the other eye, which is a different colour, but the MAC one. And this, I'll show you this over the top. Take most of it off on the back of your hand, and then just pat the colour onto the lid. And it just gives a slightly different feel. Then that will also dry, but it just gives a little bit of a twist to it. And cream shadows are so easy to play around with. I think it's just such an easy way because it doesn't drop down. Once they dry, they really last. If you put them on with a good brush, they're so easy to blend. You don't need to kind of blend them in as much as you do powders, I don't think. And I just think they look so much more modern and they're just so much quicker. Hope that was helpful.